Good afternoon. I almost said good morning.
Hi, Barb. I have to pause the recording.
Hi, Barb.
Mm.
Hey, girl.
I enjoyed seeing you at the retreat.
I
Welcome to our Divine Origin Forum. Tonight's topic is the awakening. Please remain muted as we start with an opening prayer. We call the benevolent beings of light, archangels, and ascended masters to guide and inspire us during this forum. Our forum's vision is to bring the understanding, tools, discipline, and support for those seeking to enter the straight and narrow path, the road less traveled, that will lead us along effectively and steadily through the ascension process. Integration of the human experience with our divine origin is moving us full circle to achieve our divine potential. So be it. We thank you for answering the call from on high to attend the forum. Let us join our hearts and minds in preparation to receive the blessings offered. We ask you to please release your day from your mind and center yourself. Breathe in deeply and release. Breathe in deeply and release. Take one last breath in and release. Relax the tension in your body and your mind. Now bring your full attention to the form. Be fully present in order to receive and fully retain the discourse gifts. And Christine, you can please start the quote. Barbara, can you please begin your discourse?
Thank you. Tonight's topic is awakening. And if ever you listened to our discussions here at the forum, you would recognize what he was talking about. And just recently at the retreat, this was talked about. And now I'm going to tell you there's really a third stage after that, but let's talk about the first and the second stage. The first stage, you're so excited that you start doing research and finding out information that you can't contain it. You've got to share it. You've got to tell everybody. You are so out there trying to really tell everyone what you know. A little ego in there and mostly a heart wanting to share and show other people what they could find out if they would only seek the spiritual path. And that turns off a lot of people. They get angry, all the things he described. They feel put upon because you can see things, you start seeing things, and your sensory system ignites on a deeper level. It's not just your eyes and your ears, it's not just the touch, but you start feeling emotionally what's going on with this person. You look at their face and you see that that smile isn't real. There's pain behind that smile. They say things, but you know you can't feel it in your heart. You feel it in your gut, and it makes your stomach hurt because it's not coming from a place of honesty. It's the wannabe story. They want that to be their story. And then, as he said in the second stage, you start to actually get a little nervous about the gifts that you're given, because every time you try to share it with someone that did not ask, they get offended. And it goes on and on and on, only for you to learn how to manage this incredible insight and intuition and all of the extrasensory perceptions that we have built into our technology, our inner technology. He touched upon the third stage where you suddenly realize, and going back for a moment, It is a very lonely path. You spend more time away from people because of their reactions to you in stage 1, especially, than you want to participate with the rest of the world. Plus, you're a little confused because your knowingness is upon you and you're trying to process that while you're dealing with your own issues coming up to cleanse you, because the mirrors, it's not just the light beings that have mirrors, everybody does. They serve as mirrors, they serve as friends, and they serve as the agitators. And in everybody takes that part. Everybody plays all the parts. It's not like you come in and you're just an agitator. You don't come in and you're just the holier than thou, sweet and loving to everybody. It isn't real. It isn't necessary. It doesn't fulfill contracts that you have with people. You sometimes need to use tough love, and other times you need to be as gentle as a dove. As you go through stage 2, you start to get the hang of things. You start to understand to be more gentle with your presentations. The hardest lesson is to feel out first before you say stuff that is way out there to most people, because you really it's a learning experience how not to shock people, and they'll walk away from you. So the whole educational journey that we're on our path is not only opening us up like a flower as we're ready, but also how to manage that incredible gift of all of the extrasensory perception that goes on of unknowingly all throughout your life. And then during this stage of 1, 2, and 3, it actually is all the time, and you're aware of it. That I can see things that other people can't, you say. And I know that person isn't being honest. They're just making believe. And all these things that you want to say something, but they have to ask. Or you say to them, can I help you? I realize that something's troubling you. And some people will just let it all out, just tell you the whole story. You'll be the light in their life that day. All of you have experienced this at one time or another, or maybe all the time. People will open up to you if you don't become forceful with your light. And it's the second stage, which most people are at right now. It's very, very delicate. It's a delicate, very narrow path of learning to manage your energy. Because when you get excited about something, and I don't mean in a happy way, that your energy, which is playing out very high, all of a sudden drops and you're back in 3, 4D again. And when you're down there, you're hearing things, it's screaming in your ears. Everything can agitate you. That's why I say keep yourself at 0 point. Sit down, breathe deeply, bring yourself back up. Because I'm telling you, once you've been operating in a 4D high, a 4 positive, even a 5 negative, or a 5 period, 5 level, you don't want to come back down in 3D and experience the pain you didn't even know that you were in all those years that you were living in that state. And that brings you to really work on yourself. You become so absolutely focused that I can't live like that anymore because I know what it feels like to be in peace. And then more comes to you to test you, test you, test you. Since we were at the retreat, A lot of people are calling me about the testing that they're going through. And that is exactly what was expected, because you're going to be tested to see if you could hold that frequency. And this is the most important part for you. But you will, believe me, go back into that 5D as if you're pulling a rope, because it's so uncomfortable and you're not used to it anymore. You didn't even realize the piece that passes understanding was yours, that you didn't get triggered very easily, that you were able to go through an event that normally would have made you go nutso, but you didn't do it anymore. You look at it, you breathe, you ask the right questions inside you. What is it that I am to see here? What is it showing me? What do I need to know? And then you rest and you just continue to witness until the inspiration comes, and it will come. You asked and you shall receive the answer. And it may not be exactly what you thought it was, because you got to stay out of this so that you can go to this. You see? Most of us are used to trying to figure it out. We go into our heads and start mulling over every aspect of it, looping it and looping it until we can't even sleep. We can't eat. Everything is agitated and we got nowhere. That's not how we solve the problems. I say to myself immediately, I can fix this. I can fix this, even though I had no idea what it was going to be to fix it. I don't look at it as a problem. It's an opportunity to resolve something. You see, if you're that type of person, you know exactly what I'm saying. And I'm sure people have come to you for the answers to the questions, because they get all tangled up in their emotions and in their head. And when they do that, they cannot get the inspiration that's available to them. People think that God just leaves them. How could that be possible when God is animating you? It's impossible. It's us that shuts down. It's us. It's always us. Darn it. Now, stage 3 is, and he touched on it. What happens is now you already got the hang of it. You understand about boundaries. You understand about what you see and feel. You understand how to delicately bring it to somebody if they ask you. And if they don't ask you and they're in agony, but you know in your heart they're seeking assistance, you'll know how gently to approach it. Stage 3 is such a beautiful stage. You're not lonely anymore in the sense of being able to share with others. You find the people, they're drawn to you, and they really want to hear what you say. But if you hand them too much at once, they start to get very unwired. It's too much for them. And so you really have to temper yourself. Watch their face, watch their body motions. Their body language will tell you if you're doing too much, saying too much, pushing too much. But the biggest step in 3 is stop saving people. You took away their opportunity to go through something that the universe set up for them over the last, God knows how long it takes for them to get the right people together at the right time. Now, as stage 3 develops into its higher end of it, getting into stage 4, what happens is you are at a place where you're a magnet. People are drawn to you like they come out of nowhere and just seek you out. You draw people to you that are really in need of understanding, and you draw people to you that are just like you. They know what you know. They feel what you feel. And it's a delight to be with these people. At the retreat, we found how much we are alike when we did certain activities in the workshop. In that workshop, we started realizing when we spoke to somebody and did a little bit of talk back and forth, that what I saw in you, you saw in me, because there I am. It's the mirror. You see yourself in the mirror of everyone. And until you two are in the same frequency, you're not seeing the other person. And there's moments when you are. If you say the Christ in me greets the Christ in you, now you're on the same frequency. You are. And that interaction, even if it isn't spiritually a topic, it will go smoothly and beautifully and in harmony. It's so important. It's so important. So understanding how you manage your energy is why you're here on the planet. We're all gods and goddesses in the making. Our soul is divine. It's just that we have picked up a lot of patterns and a lot of stuff that is weighing us down and taking up space in this beautiful channel of light that we're supposed to be, a clear channel of light. And when we get puffed up about ourselves, boy, we best be humbling ourselves down all on our own, because it will kick you right back. When you want to reach the next level, each level of this awakening, you start to see the pain when you get a little careless with yourself. And it shocks people and they don't understand what to do with it, because it's our ego trying to survive another round of controlling the situation. Not that it's your enemy. It's used to taking care of things when you were sleeping on the job. How many centuries was that? So you train it. You train it not to take over, and you use your power to be the master of your house. Your house is your body and your fields. Once you're a master of your body and fields, you're fearless, but you don't tempt God and do stupid things to try to prove how fearless I am. What you do is you become very cautious about how you interact with other people so that you do not interfere and take on that karma yourself. And that's what you do. That's why I don't remember who it was. I think it was Greg Braden had said, you take on karma when you have children. And what he was explaining is that when we try to save our kids and become helicopter mamas or papas, what happens is we're taking away all the experiences they need to go through from A to Z. And it's on us now that we did that. We did it in love. We did it. We thought we were doing the right thing, but we took away a holy moment from them that we really had really no right to do. It was not helping. It was hindering. They're going to have to go through, just like you, all of the experiences that they lined up before they ever came here. They need this. They need to get strong. They need to learn right and wrong for them, what's right and wrong for them. Not our ideas, but when we see them in trouble and they're sinking in front of us, boy, you better do something about it. You stand up and stop them, shock them right out of their dream of hallucination, because they got caught up in 3D or 3 minus, and they are sinking, and don't ever walk away. It's our duty to point the finger and say, what are you doing to yourself? And get them the help they need, professional help, spiritual help, They always work hand in hand. Trying to be everything to everyone. He spoke about this in the video. It's in stage 1. You are so excited that you start trying to save the world. You exhaust yourself, you deplete your energy because you forgot about guess who? The giver. You forgot about you. You're drained of energy. You can't think clearly. You're not sleeping well. You're giving yourself away and you were never meant to. You see? All of these stages and steps are so important. I really encourage you to listen to that video again so that you can really feel it. And then you'll figure out where you are. What stage of life are you at in your spirituality? Where are you on that path? Are you in stage 1? No shame. But if you're struggling, learn from what Alan was telling you. If you're in stage 2, you'll recognize it as well. I went through both of those stages. Boy, getting kicked in the head all the time verbally because people would go, "You're nuts. You are like really nuts." And I'd go, "Oh, thank you." In the beginning, I didn't laugh. In the beginning, I was hurt because my intentions were so pure and the reactions that I got were not. And I asked Jesus, why did this happen? And he said, "Barbara, you asked people to do what you haven't mastered yet." I went, whoa. Somebody left that out of the in guidance book. And he laughed and he said, well, he said, that's how it works. I said, so what does it do when I speak of something that I did master, that I overcame in my own world? He said, you gain power in your words that even the sleeping will hear. And I said, I get it. So because I knew that I came in to be a coach for people to understand what I went through, I really worked on myself. I worked on myself. I got real with myself. I got honest with, I hated to admit some of the things that I had to, but I did it. I did it because it was the right thing to do to go to the next step. So he's not the only one that talks about this, but I kind of love him. He was so brutally honest. He was a man who was very, very tortured in his youth and his early years because he was opening up way before people really were, it was a popular thing to hear. And so he was going through all these stages that he spoke about here and how painful it was for him. But it really made a master out of him. He got to understand there has to be good and evil in the world so you can compare it and make the decision, which direction do you want to go? So I still have time. Isn't that wonderful? So we judge good and evil as bad, that's good and that's bad. But that's not how the universe works. God, the creator, uses both polarities to serve the purposes of growth on the path of spirituality. You can't just have one polarity because here in the matrix, there's got to be opposites, always pulling you back and forth until you find the center. You find the center of everything. Kind of like the Buddhists say, that everything in moderation, everything across the board even. You don't get hysterical, scared. You don't get hysterical laughing. You stay in the middle and don't allow the waves to happen. You just stay in a nice, gentle flow. And that's the rhythm that will help you not to be up in the air, down on the ground, up in the air, down on the ground. And it happened to all of us where we're just kind of in la la land lovely And then next thing we know, bang, something happens. But remember, the something that happens is simply a test to see if you can hold the light when the pressure is on, so that you can see what patterns you need to still release, and so that you can see how far you have come from that person 10 years ago would never be acting like you act today. Now, unfortunately, I have known people like my mother-in-law who never gained the wisdom. No matter how much people talk to her, no matter how much love and understanding we shared, she never got it. It does happen. It does happen to people. And so that's why when you put an effort into someone, just if you can't get through to them, either they're not ready or they're so scared of what it would be like if they weren't in the pain that they're used to, or other reasons that we won't go into because there's so many of them. But if you can't get through to someone that you know is really needing your love, just pray for them. Put them in your prayer list and pray for them. Send them love and light to hold them up and give them the courage and the strength to carry on. That's the gift you can give them. And for those that are using physical ailments in order to do karmic cleansing, it's a very tough road. And this priest he was actually a minister, he actually said at a sermon, which I had some talk with him afterwards, that if people are sick, it's sin and they're full of sin and that they are lost. And I remember I held my head and shook my head no. And when I got up there, he said, "You have some nerve uh, putting on that whole big act of annoyance." And I said, "Excuse me, but I felt very offended by what you said. Being sick that's not what's going on." And I couldn't explain the word karma to this guy because he would have basically sent me flying out of there. But when you're sitting there with the understanding of life on a different level, and you have to listen to somebody who is supposed to be uplifting the congregation, you start to realize that it's getting uncomfortable to be in these circumstances. You have all the angels and guides around you that will lead you so beautifully into a heavenly consciousness. And if you love the fellowship at a synagogue or a church, go and enjoy that as well. Your light will bring them gifts beyond gifts. Go where you feel called. Be with everybody and anybody that you are drawn to and see what your place is. Why am I here? I always ask my higher self. I don't just walk into a situation and just sit there going, "What the heck?" Because we don't know. Are we there to see ourselves in our pain? If you feel it, you will. Whatever you describe, what you're seeing is yours. Otherwise, you wouldn't know. You would see something different. And then it's also a gauge for you to see where you are. Because as you see only the beauty in people, and yet you recognize where they're still struggling, but you're not judging it, then you know it's not yours. You're there to hold the light, to answer any questions that they ask of you, to be a support system. So you'll know just the way you react or respond to a situation, just where you are, so that you can continue your journey deeper and deeper inside yourself. So much is going on. The world is serving you, even though it seems like it's splitting into a million pieces. it actually is serving you. Remain fearless, remain cautious and careful. Don't ever tempt God. There's people that actually believe I can walk into that burning building and I am protected by God's light. Okay, good luck with that. I'm not following you. But my heart goes out to these people because honestly, some of the things that they pull to prove that they are above the rest of us, they get themselves in a heck of a problem. So with that, I'm going to save the rest that I want to say after segment 2. And I want you to know the inspiration that comes through me is from what we talk about in segment 2. When you open your heart and tell your story according to the topic of the evening, how you are awakening, where you feel that you have more work to do, or what you have discovered about yourself that shows you that you're not just in stage 1 anymore. You've actually entered stage 2. And those that feel that they're in stage 3, where they're not judging anything anymore, they're just absolutely looking at the world through the eyes of love. Okay? So those that are on YouTube watching this, thank you so much for coming on. I hope that you enjoyed the segment 1, and I'll be back with a closing statement. We do attach the quote, the video, and the song to the YouTube at the bottom when you do open it up where the title is, and you be able to watch this as well. Okay. If the link doesn't work, which we've noticed a couple of them don't pick up right, go by the title and who is, if it says Greg Braden or somebody else, you'll be able to find it on their on YouTube. Okay. All right. God bless you, and I'll be back.
Thank you, Barbara. Christine, this is not recorded.
The song, it was Elohim Adonai. Everything that she was talking about, you ask God within you. You're speaking to the Creator who animates you, who you're a spark of in this physical body that makes you forget how divine you really are. Remember, everything you do, everything you say, bring it to God. And that God, your higher self, is part of, is going to answer, show you the way, bring you home to yourself, that divine, magnificent being that you are. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. And Christine, if you could pause the recording during segment 2, please. And Barbara, can we please have your closing statements?
Absolutely. Tonight's topic was awakening. There's many stages, and I didn't even go into after the 4th stage. There's all these different stages. It's like dimensions. People say 5D. Do you know how many layers of 5D there are? Of 4D, of 3D? And so when you say that you're in segment 2 of the spiritual journey, you will graduate slowly, as I had been talking on segment 2, that you really don't want to push things to try to speed it up. It's not healthy. And the reason is you have to adjust to every little frequency change that happens within your fields. And sometimes you hit a layer that it kind of throws you off because it's like all of a sudden there's something happening that never happened before, and you're questioning what to do with it. So be very respectful to your journey. Know that it's all written for you already in your divine hand, and everything that you would hoped and prayed that you would complete in this lifetime, if you do a majority of it, you did very well. Some people figure, you know what, it is too hard, too tough, and I'm just taking this lifetime off, and they go fishing for 50 years. And the universe doesn't judge you. The universe does not, nobody judges you. You want to take off time? Take off time. You got eternity. But this lifetime is very special. Very, very special. Everything is lined up, and it only happens at a certain 2,600 year cycle. This one, where a certain percentage of the people on Earth, because we're the graduate school, um, makes that a long journey to try to get enough cleared from their karma and what they hold in patterns, uh, so that they can go forward and actually ascend. Ascend. Yeah. Christ did. And people years ago, if I said that you would be ascended, not even that you be Christed, they were like this, scared to death. What are you saying? How could you talk like that? Jesus is the only one. And I didn't argue the point. But as the years went on, people woke up enough to start to say, explain this a little better. I want to understand what you mean. So slowly but surely, people started to understand Jesus didn't come to be the only one. He came to show us the way to Christhood. What is Christhood? A state of love, purity, fearlessness, and being even able to control nature, weather. Walk on water? Maybe if it's not too deep, I'll try it. I know. That's a little out of my purview. um, but I don't need to walk on water. My heart is walking on water in the love that I have developed, in the understanding of the pain and suffering of going through this rigorous regimen of walking the path. And this path, it's not that you're trying to be perfect. All you are is trying to become authentic, truthful, honest with yourself, so that you can be that way with others, so that you can contribute to the light in this world, so that you can be of service to the one, and the one is the creator, and you are part of that creator. You are you've been in so many different bodies, and yet you look at yourself now and you say, oh, I'm a god, all right. Yeah. You know what I did yesterday? Oh, you know what I was thinking? And we start beating on ourselves. We got to get over ourselves. Stop doing that to yourself. Learn to laugh about what you did and how awkward maybe you were, or whatever the circumstance. When I started really learning how to laugh at myself, my life became so much easier. I literally felt like a weight came off my shoulders, and I stopped trying to be perfect, because there is no such thing. What is perfect for you today, in maybe a week, you'll look at it and say, nah, that's not it. That's not perfection. Be easy on yourself. It's already written. You just have to ride the wave. You see? That's all. Ride the wave. Witness the whole thing. Do your part. Love yourself. And watch what happens. The miracle of the you that turns into the I am. It is fascinating and amazing. And if you're going through physical difficulties and you're really hurting, and I know what that feels like, be fearless. Tell your body, I need you to operate the way I need it operating so that I can do my holy work here. Sometimes we do need to have things done physically to ourselves to take care of business. But you never give up hope that you have the ability to change your life, change the circumstances of your life, and change the pain into joy. The joy, not just happiness, because that's fleeting, but true joy to the depths of your soul. And there'll be a smile on your face like Loring's, and it never comes off his face because he looks at the world as a mirror of him and he gets a kick out of everybody that's him, including me. As scary as that might be. You know what? Don't worry about anything. You came here to go through what you're going through. Physical, mental, emotional, whatever. Just know that this is all part of whatever you wrote into your script. But what is most important is how you deal with it. How you deal with it. If you fall for something, like they told me I had to go on dialysis, I said no, because that means I buy into that I am not well. And every day, what do I say? I'm healthy, healed, whole, and complete. That doesn't leave out anything. So whatever a physician tells me, I show them and I prove them wrong, and they hate that. He wouldn't even come in the office when I was in there. He sent his PA because when he saw what I did when he said it was too late, he was wrong. But if I bought into it and I let them put the port in, that would have been it for me. I would have gone to that in that direction. Be mighty, but be smart. There is some things that do need to be taken care of. It's beyond us at that point. Okay? You know who I'm talking to, right? Be smart, but be absolutely in your power at all times. You should see Charlie. I mean, something happens and he's falling apart because he's a worrywart. Anybody have a worrywart in their home? Yeah. And I'm sitting there and I go, I take a piece of paper, start writing down what we have to do. I show him the paper. He goes, how do you do that? I said, because I don't get tied up in problems like I talked about before. You know that if you ask for guidance or if you need to find reference, it'll come right to you. Whatever I need, first thing comes up on my computer or whatever I'm on, it will show me exactly what I needed. Somebody needed a reference about something they're going through. In 3.5, I found exactly the spiritual purpose of why that's happening. And what did that do for them? It educated them to show them this isn't a sinful, horrible thing. It's for you to learn, to let go, to love yourself, whatever the situation is. Never fall for 3D. It's not really where you live. You see? You're the master of your house and you've got to know it. And you have to act like it. And stand tall and let God be so proud of you, your higher self, so proud of you that every time she slams me with an opportunity to hold my ground and my frequency, I don't let her down. Don't you let her, him or her, sorry, let them down because they're watching you. They want to see you strive. If you can strive in a graduate school, you can strive on any plane that you choose to go on. Okay? So we're going to close now. I'm sorry we ran a little over. Those on YouTube, it's not over for you, but the people that are here, yes. So please stay on for the prayer because we kind of promised that we would do this every week, and the universe is really depending on us to do it, okay? So I hope I answered all your questions and that you enjoyed this evening's topic. Thank you so much. And my heart is filled with love for each one of you, right where you are, who you are today. I love you very deeply. And I know you love me because I cried at the retreat because everybody was sending so much love. It was overwhelming. Thank you.
Please remain muted as I read the closing prayer. We are deeply grateful for this forum. We thank those in attendance for your attention and your wonderful questions, comments, and stories that touched our hearts and opened our minds to new possibilities. Our collective energy has filled this forum with light and love for each other. We are so grateful that each of us brings guides and angelic beings to the forum, raising the frequency ever higher. We are grateful for the assistance, inspiration, and guidance from the benevolent beings overseeing the forum. Know we are deeply loved and richly blessed. So be it. We invite all of you to remain for the 10-minute prayer before saying goodnight to each other. We will be closing the evening with the planetary prayer as our collective call for the light to bless every kingdom upon the earth, to create a new heaven and a new earth. The words are on the screen to help you recite this beautiful prayer. This is still recorded, and if Christine, you could start the planetary visualization.
So let's sit nice and tall in our seats, our feet on the ground. Straighten up your spine. Let that light be able to move nicely through your body. Feel your feet on the floor. Call up that light into your feet, up your legs, the trunk of your body, your arms, hands, up your neck and in your head as it loops back down into the earth, through your body, out the soles of your feet in a continuous flow. Let's begin setting everything into motion. I call for the divine Christ radiance to surround me, hermetically sealing around me. Nothing but love can penetrate this seal of divine light. I call for the divine light to enter my crown directly from source, moving through every atom, molecule, cell, and energy within my body and fields. The flow of divine light moves through my body into the earth, out through the soles of my feet, continuing in a steady flow and building in potency. I ask my higher self to connect my heart with the other prayer warriors all over the world, to create a unified effort as one mind, one heart, one intent. I call to the benevolent beings of light for their assistance. I ask my higher self to add power to the words of this planetary visualization. Now let us rest in the divine light, concentrating on our breath and on the light flowing. Let it clear your mind. Breathing in the divine light and hold it. Now breathe out the divine light. Breathing in the divine light, hold it. Now breathe out the divine light. One last time. Breathing in the divine light, hold it. Now breathe out all the divine light. Extending your arms, turn the palms of your hands to face each other, about a foot apart. Visualize the earth and her atmosphere between your hands. The light will begin to flow into your hands and into the earth and her atmosphere. You'll feel it flowing. Let us call in the divine light. I am calling the violet ray as violet fire to flow directly from source into the earth's atmosphere, penetrating into the earth's surface all the way through to the core in a steady flow. I am calling the divine Christ radiance to move through my body, out through my hands and heart. The divine light is pouring into the earth's atmosphere, penetrating the surface and continuing to the center of the planet in a steady flow, blessing the earth in divine light. Now let us direct the divine light with authority. I am directing the divine light into the planetary grid lines, the electronic grid and meridian lines surrounding the earth, the ley lines crisscrossing the earth, repairing and charging these lines as the divine light moves in a continuous flow. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the kingdoms represented on earth and all life within each kingdom, the elemental, plant and food chain, the animal kingdom, human kingdom, angelic kingdom, and all kingdoms known and unknown. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the dimensions of the earth, penetrating these dimensions and all life within each dimension. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the waters of the earth, on the surface, under the surface, in the atmosphere, and all life within these waters, purifying the water as God intended in the beginning. I am directing the divine light to penetrate all land masses, the continents and islands of land upon the earth's surface, and all life living upon the surface and under the surface. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the cities, towns, and communities upon the land, and all life living within inhabited locations on the earth. I am directing divine light to penetrate all of humanity on earth, every man, woman, and child incarnated on earth, lifting them in the light, awakening and ascending ever higher as divine source intended from the beginning. I am directing the divine light to penetrate all species of animals on the land, flying in the sky, all organisms and elementals on the surface and beneath the surface of the earth. I am visualizing the benevolent beings of light upon the earth, assisting all humanity, showing us the way, guiding us, assisting those awakened, and embracing those just awakening, leading humanity to a higher reality and to bring the concepts of a higher order of divine love for yourself and others. Now breathing deeply, taking in the entire picture of all that you have visualized, marveling as you help create a new heaven and a new earth, filled with divine light as divine source intended from the beginning. Let us express our gratitude. I am thanking the benevolent beings of light for their assistance and guidance. I thank my higher self for giving power to my words, manifesting my divine vision. I thank the divine light for its steady flow of purity to all creation. I thank Mother Earth for providing all of our needs from her abundance and beauty. I thank the angels in every color of the rainbow for their daily assistance and blessings. And I thank our divine source for all of creation. Concentrating on your hands as that light is pouring into the earth. And now place your hands upon your heart and feel the divine flow of light, giving thanks for being of service to our divine source. Now rest your arms, press your feet to the floor, become aware of your surroundings. And when you are feeling ready, open your eyes and return fully present. This visualization and directives of light is to co-create and manifest the transformation of our planet, giving back to her for all she offers to us. This is God's plan for this planet and all life upon her. So be it, and so it is. Amen and amen. You can have a copy of this visualization and a prayer to cleanse the earth. Visit our website, ourdivineorigin.com. Thank you.
Okay, Christine, if you could stop the recording and turn the host back over to Barbara.